In the heart of the forsaken town of Hollow Creek, where tales of the supernatural whispered through the twisted alleyways, Jake, a weary traveler, found himself on a journey through the ominous night. The fog, thick as a shroud, cloaked the streets in an otherworldly stillness, amplifying the unsettling aura that hung in the air. Jake's headlights cut through the murkiness as he drove cautiously along the winding roads, the only sound being the muffled crunch of gravel beneath his tires. As the clock struck midnight, a pair of flashing blue lights illuminated the rear-view mirror, and a sense of dread settled in Jake's chest. Pulling over to the side of the road, he watched as the fog seemed to swallow everything behind him. A figure emerged, clad in a police uniform. The silhouette was obscured by the dense mist, but the officer's presence felt palpable. "License and registration," came the demand, the voice monotone and distant. Jake handed over the documents, his unease growing with each passing second. The officer, face hidden beneath the brim of his hat, scrutinized the papers without a word. As the fog enveloped them, Jake's imagination ran wild with the haunting tales that echoed through the town. The imposter handed back the documents, his expression unreadable. "There's been a series of break-ins. We're checking all vehicles. You can continue, but be cautious," the imposter warned, the words hanging in the air like a spectral omen. Driving away, Jake couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. The fake police car loomed in the rear-view mirror, following his every twist and turn. Panic gnawed at him, and he decided to navigate the labyrinthine backroads of Hollow Creek, hoping to lose the mysterious pursuer. The fog thickened, creating an eerie tableau as Jake darted through the serpentine paths. The fake police car, an ominous presence, persisted. A sense of foreboding settled over Jake as he realized this was no ordinary traffic stop. It was a dance with something inexplicable and malevolent. His headlights illuminated decrepit buildings and gnarled trees, casting ominous shadows on the road. The air grew colder, and Jake's breath hung like a spectral mist. With each mile, the dread intensified, the imposter's pursuit unwavering. It was as if the town itself conspired with the shadows to entrap him. After a relentless chase, Jake found himself at a dead end, a desolate clearing surrounded by skeletal trees. Fear gripped him as the fake police car screeched to a halt behind him. The officer emerged, a sinister smile playing on his lips. "You can't escape, traveler," he hissed, the fog weaving around him like an accomplice in this malevolent performance. In the moonlit clearing, Jake's surroundings felt like a macabre stage for a nightmarish encounter. The imposter approached with deliberate steps, his intentions shrouded in darkness. As the tension peaked, Jake fumbled for his phone, desperately dialing 911. But the imposter's gloved hand snaked it out, seizing the device and tossing it into the fog. "You're in our domain now," the imposter declared, the mask of authority slipping away to reveal the true face of malevolence. Panic surged through Jake as he realized the gravity of his situation. The imposter's eyes gleamed with a sinister delight as he closed in. Just as despair threatened to consume Jake, a distant sound echoed through the clearing, a distant siren. The imposter's demeanor shifted, his focus momentarily diverted. In that fleeting moment, Jake seized the opportunity, sprinting into the fog-shrouded woods. The imposter gave chase, but the labyrinthine trees became Jake's allies. The town's eerie symphony of whispers intensified as he navigated the tangled undergrowth, the fake police officer disappearing into the obscurity of the fog. Hours later, Jake stumbled upon the outskirts of Hollow Creek, breathless and disoriented. The night had taken on an ethereal quality, the fog retreating as if releasing its grip on the traveler. Hollow Creek, though still and haunted, felt different. Word of the imposter in blue spread through the town like wildfire. The chilling tale of Jake's nocturnal deception became part of the spectral lore that clung to Hollow Creek. The imposter, shrouded in the fog, remained an enigma, a malevolent force lurking in the shadows, waiting for the next unsuspecting traveler to weave into its web of deception. The summer air hung heavy with warmth as my family and I sought refuge in a quaint cottage on the outskirts of a sleepy town. Little did we know that our escape from the city's chaos would turn our tranquil haven into the setting for a night of chilling uncertainty. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the treetops, we gathered on the porch. Laughter and the clinking of glasses echoed through the stillness of the night, a perfect prelude to what would soon unfold. Dusk settled, and the stars emerged, painting the sky with a canvas of constellations. The forest that surrounded our cottage whispered secrets in the moonlight, but none of us were attuned to the ominous tales it harbored. Retreating indoors, we prepared for a peaceful night's sleep. Little did we suspect that our haven would be invaded by shadows wearing the deceptive cloak of authority. A knock echoed through the silence, prompting my father, Tom, to open the door. There, bathed in the porch light, stood figures adorned in counterfeit police uniforms. Badges gleamed as they claimed to have received reports of suspicious activity. It was then that unease crept into our midst. Reluctantly, my father allowed them entry, and the charade began. The fake police officers, faces obscured by masks, ransacked our haven under the guise of a routine search. Fear seized us as we watched our sanctuary invaded, our privacy stripped away by those who should protect it. In the midst of the chaos, my curiosity led me to witness the nightmare unfolding. In a desperate bid to protect my family, I retreated to my room and dialed the emergency number, praying for help. As the fake police continued their invasion, the distant wail of a siren heralded the arrival of the real authorities. The imposters, alerted to the impending danger, vanished into the shadows, leaving behind a wake of relief. The genuine police officers secured the area, offering assurances of safety. An investigation revealed the motives of these imposters, part of a criminal gang exploiting the trust associated with law enforcement. Our cottage, tainted by fear, became a symbol of resilience. Dawn broke, dispelling the shadows that had haunted our night. We emerged stronger, our bonds forged in the crucible of a chilling experience. Our haven, once invaded, stood as a testament to the triumph of courage and unity over the forces of deception and evil. The night was dark and silent, save for the crackling of the campfire and the distant sounds of nocturnal creatures. A group of friends, seeking solace in the heart of nature, had set up camp deep in the woods. Little did they know that their peaceful retreat would evolve into a bone-chilling encounter that would haunt their nightmares for years to come. Among the campers were Alex, a spirited adventurer with a love for the outdoors, Emily, his girlfriend, and their friends, Jake and Lisa. The flickering flames danced with shadows as the group sat around, sharing stories and laughter under the vast expanse of starlit sky. As the night wore on, the fire burned lower, and a blanket of darkness settled over the camp. The crackling embers cast an eerie glow on the surrounding trees, creating distorted shadows that seemed to whisper secrets in the still night air. Suddenly, the tranquility was shattered by the harsh glare of flashlights and the authoritative barks of commands. The friends jolted in surprise as beams of light pierced the darkness, revealing figures clad in what appeared to be police uniforms. Badges glinted ominously, and the strangers' faces were obscured by the shadows of their hats. "Police! Everyone freeze!" one of them shouted, sending shivers down the spines of the unsuspecting campers. Fear seized the group as they scrambled to their feet, their minds racing to comprehend the sudden intrusion. The fake police officers, their expressions stern and unyielding, herded the friends together with a cold efficiency that betrayed their true intentions. Without explanation, they began a ruthless search of the campsite, tearing through tents and scattering personal belongings in a frenzied quest for who knew what. Alex, his heart pounding, exchanged worried glances with his friends. Something was off about this situation. The real police would have identified themselves properly and explained the reason for their intrusion. These intruders, however, seemed intent on instilling fear and chaos. In the dim glow of a waning fire, the fake police officers singled out Jake, accusing him of being involved in illegal activities. Jake, bewildered and innocent, protested vehemently, but his pleas fell on deaf ears. The situation took a darker turn as one of the fake officers, a towering figure with a menacing presence, delivered a brutal blow to Jake, sending him sprawling to the forest floor. Horror painted the faces of the remaining campers as they witnessed the unprovoked violence. The night air was thick with tension as the fake officers continued their ruthless assault, taunting and tormenting the friends. Fear and helplessness gripped the group, rendering them powerless in the face of this nightmarish ordeal. Meanwhile, Emily, hidden in the shadows, managed to discreetly dial the emergency number on her phone. She spoke in hushed tones, desperately conveying the urgency of their situation to the real authorities. With each passing moment, the hope for rescue became a flickering flame in the encroaching darkness. As the fake police intensified their assault, the distant wail of sirens cut through the night. A wave of relief washed over the friends as the real police arrived, their blue and red lights casting an ethereal glow on the chaos that had unfolded. The imposters, realizing the ruse was up, melted into the shadows, leaving behind a scene of devastation. The real police, compassionate and understanding, tended to the battered campers, ensuring their safety and providing reassurance that justice would be served. In the aftermath, the investigation revealed a sinister motive behind the fake police's brutal intrusion. They were not officers of the law but criminals who had preyed on unsuspecting victims, using the guise of authority to terrorize and exploit. The night camp, once a sanctuary beneath the stars, became a haunting memory etched in the minds of those who had endured the ordeal. The friends, forever changed by the bone-chilling experience, found solace in each other's company and the knowledge that the darkness that had descended upon them had been dispelled by the light of justice.